It's another day for the miners and the climbers. They never worked this hard before. It's devastating. Hey guys, welcome to the last video on this thing, Lemmings Mega Edition. Okay, I have finished it. It's out. You can play it. It's completely finished now. This is what the final one looks like. Yeah, I'll try and keep this one brief, this video. There's not much I have to say. I want to give, first thing I want to say is I want to give a massive thank you to Squidgy. Because Squidgy is the straw that stirs the drink. I want to put it another way. Squidgy is the creator of the factory. And I am merely an employee of that factory. So Squidgy is the one who created everything, the software. I'm just the person that used it. So I like to think of it like he's made all the machines and he's made all the buttons and all the machines, and I've just come along and pressed the buttons, you know. That's how I look at it. Squidgy, thank you so much for the level editor, for bringing out the SMS level editor. It was such a joy making this ROM hack, and mate, it wouldn't have been possible without you. I mean, you're the one who should really, you're the brains of everything. You're the one who put it all together. So it's all thanks to you, mate. Thank you so much. It really is a wonderful SMS editor. And someone's walking around upstairs. You can hear the floorboards. Yeah, so thank you, Squidgy. Thank you, Callum, for, you know, putting everything together. I mean, so guys, it was Squidgy that, you know, we should really be thanking for this ROM hack, not so much me. Yeah, it's just like he's the one who's done all this, like behind the scenes. Like the 240 levels in this game is because of Squidgy. Squidgy done that. Squidgy doubled the size of the first 120 levels and just doubled it, so you end up with 240. So he's put 240 slots, which any of them could be, you know, customized. So I've just come along and filled the slots. But Squidgy's the one who done that, and Squidgy's the one who's, you know, put these little touches in it, like, you know, how you can move up and down and change the rating like I'm doing here, and you move left and right, and you go forward a level, go up a level, go down a level. And the other things in the game, like he's fixed the release rate. I don't think I mentioned this, but the release rate is now fixed, so you can, like in the other ports, you know, you can not only go up now, you can also decrease it. See if it works. Yeah, see? I'm decreasing it, so they're coming out slower. Oh, this is one of Squidgy's levels too. It's not one of mine. I know the map. The map is from Oh No More Lemmings. But it's still his original concept. You know how I know? Because the way you complete this level is not the way you complete it in Oh No More Lemmings. Squidgy's come up with his own solution for the map. I don't think the map is original, but the solution definitely is. So it's a 50-50. I'm getting too smart now. That's a good level, Lempton shopping. That's a clever one. Yeah, so there's not much to say. Just that it's finished, the ROM hack's finished, guys, and you can download it. I'll put a direct download link in the video description of this video, because ROM Hack Plaza is going through maintenance at the moment, and they're migrating to another server, and God knows what that's going to be like. And while they're doing this transition period, nobody can download anything or post anything, so it's basically out of commission. So and I don't want that to be the only place people are going to have to download the game, so I'll put a direct link so you don't even have to patch it or do anything. It's just pre-patched, it's ready to go. Yeah, and this ROM hack's been finished for about 2 weeks now, but I couldn't make a video last weekend on it because I had laryngitis and I was all croaky and I could barely talk, so I just left it till now. So this is where I was talking about these levels last week, in the last video, wasn't I? I was somewhere around here, wasn't I? Wasn't it? Going their separate ways was where I was up to. Well, it's all finished now. I've completed them all. There's more Mega Drive recreated levels. There's more Ono, more Lemmings recreated levels. Like No Hurry Relax, I think that's that. Yeah, that's from the Mega Drive. All done, all completed. It's Hero Time Part 2. That's an original level by me. This one's a really clever one. And you don't get a lot of time, much like the original It's Hero Time. Yeah, it's a good level, that one. Evil Whisper, that's from the Mega Drive, isn't it? Yes. The Mega Drive recreated level. I didn't do too bad on some of these, did I? On the way they look. And here we have the Lemmings. They walk about, and they climb, and they float, and they build. They like to bash and mine and dig as well. The object of every level is to get from point A to point B. So, another way of saying it is, you have to get them from the entrance to the exit. And that's how you play David Attenborough's Lemmings. Ah, boy. Spiral Architect, which was originally Spiral Staircase. I just changed the name a little bit. Done it in a different tile set. So it's not in the brick tile set, it's now in the fire tile set. I just wanted to be cheeky. Give it a different coat of paint. Here is Mr. Lemming's house. Yeah, well, this is another one where I utilised the SEGA tile set. I thought, why not? And I made it a little bit harder than the one on the Mega Drive. I think the one on the Mega Drive was done in the rusted marble brick tile set. Well, I did it here in the SEGA tile set, and I made it a bit harder. Notice this thing here, that wasn't there in the original. So I'm currently playing through it, now that I finish it. I'm just playing through the game one last time, just to make sure there's no bugs or weird things happening in it. There shouldn't be, because every time I finished a level, I tested it on real hardware and I tested it on an emulator as well to make sure it was playable. So they should all be okay. Welcome to Bunyan country, as my dad would say. Where's the house? That's the first thing he'd say when he'd look at the Lemmings map. He'd look at me and he'd smile and he'd say, where's the house? What? It's not here. Ooh, it's one of those hidden ones where you have to go looking for it. Now this one is really funny because on the Mega Drive or on 16-bit ports, they got this thing about level 22 always being a beast of a level or a beast 2 of a level. So I had some fun with it and thought, why don't I make one and call it a bastard of a level? And that's what it is. It's literally a bastard of a level. Want to see what it looks like? It's this one. I hate this level, which is why I had to bring it back, because it was so hard on the Mega Drive. It was level 30 of Mayhem. It was called Lemmings Arc. And I think that was the hardest level on that port. That was so hard. Here, it's only slightly easier, not by much. What you do, I think, you know what, I've forgotten what to do. I think you send 2 climbers up here. Well, you got 3 climbers there. I remember in the original one on the Mega Drive, you had to send one up straight away and dig right on the edge, and it would leave just enough room to build a pixel-perfect bridge. I changed it a little bit here so you don't have to dig on the top, because the diggers in this port, in this version, are so finicky, especially when you're trying to get them to dig on the end. So I just left that part out. So the part where you dig down and then you bash across and you walk through that little thing there, that bit's missing. As you can see, there's no basher. But everything else is the same. You still got to send 2 or 3 lemmings up here, build bridges across there. One's got to start mining down here, and then you get them to build a bridge up there so they meet somewhere there, and the other one builds a bridge here. I think that's how you do it, yeah, but of course that's the theory, but then trying to put it in action is another question. That's what's difficult about it. It's trying to get the practical right. So that level really should have been called a bastard of a level. And in case KYN or anybody else is wondering, bastard is not a swear word. It originally means a child born out of wedlock. But people just use it as a curse word. Yes, when we were kids, it was one of those words we weren't supposed to say, along with friggin' and bloody, but it's not actually a swear word or a curse word. It's a clean word. I wouldn't put swear words in here. I'm not that stupid. I actually had some rules. I was telling Joshua about this when I came to naming level titles. I made these 3 little rules for myself. Like, rule number 1 was not to mention politicians or any activism stuff going on in the world. So no Black Lives Matter, no climate change, no Palestine, nothing like that. Okay, and no mentioning of politicians, because this is a video game. It's for entertainment purposes. We don't need to be lectured to. It's not a beacon for. We don't use the entertainment industry as a speaker or a beacon for, to push our political agendas. It's entertainment. It doesn't matter what side of the spectrum you're on. The left side of politics or the right side of politics. Don't preach, lecture, or advertise it here. It's, I think I talked about this in the first video, but yeah. And what was rule number 2? It was nothing smutty. No smutty humour. No mentioning of sex. No mentioning of porn. Or penises and vaginas or anything like that. That's completely, you know, just don't do it. It's not needed. It's a video game. We don't need to be vulgar. I think the third rule was nothing overly religious. So yeah, I made a few puns here, like there's one here, I think it's called Ash Lem's Day. That's alright, but I wouldn't mention, like, what I'm talking about is like nothing overly religious, is like, oh, that bloody car outside's loud. Nothing overly religious, so I wouldn't mention Jesus or Allah or anything like that. You know, you sort of got to know what's appropriate and what's not appropriate. So yeah, well, that was my little 3 rules. Oh, and I'll show you this. This is the new stray sheep. This is the one that's in the final. I forgot to mention this. Squidgy fixed the hidden exit thing. I remember in the last video I showed this level and it was completely visible. You could see the exit here, and it had arrows to on either side. And you had to find a way to get past the arrows. Well, I've got rid of all that now. So the hidden exit is still there. It's just hidden. It's just like Lost Something. Level 28 are tricky. It's exactly the same. So that's how it was on the Mega Drive. So it's back to being like that. Where was I? Yes, I was up to 22, 23. When you get to level 23, they really start getting hard here and heavy. This is a really hard level. Lemmings sold separately. You're going to get stumped on this one, I'm telling you. It's not completely an original level. I pinched the map from somebody else. But I did change the solution slightly. I made it a little bit harder. And I added this thing here. This thing was never there in the original map that I copied it and traced everything over. Actually, I didn't use a reference image for this, because this was I pinched this from a custom level. Somebody else made a custom level. That's right. I was watching KYN, and I was watching some of the custom levels he was playing, and I started to get some ideas going. This is when I started to have writer's block and stuff. So I had copied all this freehand. I did it pretty accurately too. So there's 2 hatchets here. Yeah, there's another entrance here, right? They're pretty much trapped. So you've got to get someone over there to free them, and you've got to still get them all to the exit. Is this 100% this level? I can't remember. I only done it the other week. Yeah, it's 100. Most of them are 100 here in heavy. So Squidgy will like that, because Squidgy likes 100% levels. Look at them all. Whoa, 100, 100, 60, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100. Whoa, they're nearly all 100. 95. 100, 100, 100. There's the odd one that isn't, but they're nearly all 100. Those hairy jelly bean things. You know where I got that title from? Chucky Finster from the Rugrats. There was an episode of the Rugrats, I remember, where he had this phobia about germs. He had a dream, a nightmare about germs. And the next day he went up to Tommy in the playpen, and they were talking, and he said, I had this scary dream. And he's talking about the germs, and Tommy said, well, what are germs? And Chucky said, they're these little hairy jelly bean things. And it's stuck with me ever since. And if you're wondering, welcome to Bunyan Country. I'm not having a dig at Aboriginals or anything with the welcome to country ceremonies that we have here in Australia. No, I got that from The Simpsons. There was a Simpsons episode once where It's an old one where Homer needed money. He was in debt, and he went to Marge's older sisters, the twins, Patty and Selma. And he asked them for help, and he was basically had to be their slave in order for them to bail him out. And I remember when they pulled up at the house unexpectedly, and he got really angry, and they went, and they threatened to tell Marge about his little secret, being in debt. And one of them put their foot up for him to rub it, and she said, "Welcome to Bunyan country." That's where I got it from. La Boo Boos and Lemmings. This is another hard one. Another map that I stole. I changed the solution slightly. I think I made it harder. I'm not sure if I made it harder. Wouldn't have made it easier. It's either the same or it's harder. They're really hard levels, these ones. And if you notice, there's a lot of brick ones now in the heavy rating, because I didn't make a lot of brick tile set levels in Jazzy. Jazzy, there's a lot of blue crystal ones and sand pillar ones. So in heavy, I concentrated more on the brick. That's what we call it on the editor. It's called brick. I know people know it as marble. I used to call it rusted brick. It looks like rust. But anyway, fancy a good puzzle? Another hard one. Another map I think I stole or recreated and put in here. I've done all these freehand too. There was no reference image because they're not original levels. Oh, it's a hard one. I'm not going to tell you how to do it. It is not easy. These brick ones, after, when you get to a bastard of a level onwards, are hard. I think I skipped one. Did I do... I missed this one, yeah. Those little hairy jelly bean things. How can I go into this one? This one's another hard one. This is not child's play. These are hard ones. What do we do? I'm not telling ya. A ceiling of opportunity. Not a window of opportunity, a ceiling of opportunity. Is that a hint? What do we have to do in this one? Well, I'll let you figure that out. This is an original level. Completely original by me. I think. I can't remember actually. If that's completely original or not. It might be a 50-50. I might have pinched the idea from somewhere else. Expecto Patronum. That was the wife's idea. She's a mad Harry Potter fan. She wanted me to put that reference in there. And I kept saying, I don't want to reference Harry Potter. And she was like... And then she told me the story about how when he does the spell in the movies against those evil things, and the picture goes all white and everything looks like it's all icy, and so that sort of gave me the idea. I thought, Mom, maybe I'll put it in there, and it's on an icy crystal level. This is another hard one. This thing here was not supposed to be here. If you're wondering if I left that there, it was overlooked or anything. It wasn't. I don't know what the hell that is. That does not show up in the editor. That didn't show up in the editor. Something happened when I was making the map, and I couldn't get rid of it. It was only showing up on the emulator and like here on real hardware. I'm playing this on the Mega Drive, and it does something here. When you put a block here, there's a pixel there's like a tile missing. It's weird. I don't know what it is, but I can't get rid of that. I can't erase it. I don't know what that is, but it's only on this level. So I just left it because it's not actually affecting the map. It's just outside the map there. So I don't know. It's something I couldn't get rid of. And Be More Than Just a Number is another recreated level from Oh No More Lemmings. Did it in the SEGA tile set. I thought, well, I wasn't using the SEGA tile sets much, so I thought I might as well start making some levels in there. And last but not least is Snakes Alive, the level that I despised at first, but now I don't mind it so much. I think it's a really clever level, and that one is from Squidgy. I told him, I said, I'm going to put your level in, I'm going to put it last, because it's one of the hardest ones in the game. This is the original, you know, level. All the Fives one is mine. I copied it, and I tried to make it a little bit easier by putting 15 of everything. I think I talked about this in the first video. And this is the original one. This one was made first. It was Squidgy's level. This is his original concept, original idea. So you get 5 of everything, and you've got to get them into the middle there. You've got to build 5 perfect, pixel perfect bridges right on the edge. Right on the edge. If you're a pixel too early, they're going to fall into the water. It's a very clever level. I've beaten it now. When I talked about it the first time, I couldn't beat it then, because when I first played this, I was stuck on this for days. It was driving me mad. I had to stop playing it because I just couldn't do it. I kept finding that I was either short on builders or I was short on climbers. I just couldn't get through it. And the excruciating part is trying to get everything right, like having to multitask, which means you have to pause a lot, and you've got to build bridges. The bridges have to be perfect, and I just couldn't do it. Anyway, I ended up beating the level. I'd done it twice in one day. I did it down here. I did it on the core. I used the Mega EverDrive core because I had save states. I could use save states on that. So the first time I beat it was with save states. The second time I beat it was upstairs on the Analog Mega SG, because when you play Master System games on the Analog Mega SG, you can pause on the controller. So being able to pause makes it a lot easier, because me playing it here, right, the console is right over there near the brick wall, and I'm sitting here on the lounge. I have to get up off my ass and walk over and press the pause button all the time. I'm not doing that. That's the biggest mistake they ever did with the Master System, was put the pause button on the console. That's the one thing the NES did better, was they should have had the pause button on the controller. But yeah, despite being frustrating, it's a really good level in the end, and it was a joy to put that last. It was a good way to wrap everything up. It's, you know, there's not many repeats of levels that I've done in here, but that's probably, you know, one of the rare ones, you know. Or you got all the 5s, and then you got Snakes Alive, which is the harder version, and then that's it. So it's all done, guys. So I'll just say one more thing, and then I'll stop. Okay, Squidgy, I want to thank you yet again. If you're watching this video, thank you, mate, for the editor, for the playtesting version that you built, for the JavaScript written engine that you made, for putting in the hidden exits and fixing the traps and everything else, making everything work. Thank you, mate. Squidgy is the brains of this whole operation. Thank you, mate. And I also want to thank my mate Josho, J.Russell Retro Gaming. Mate, let me find him. He's in here. There he is. Because Josh is one of my biggest supporters. And I just want to thank him for all the support. That's it. I'll tell you one last funny little story about me and my dad when we first played this game. No, it's not about the music this time, so you don't have to worry. I'm not going to drag on and on. I just say this one last thing before I stop. This should be a Dawdle, okay? When me and Dad first got to this level, Dad kept saying to me, he kept saying, "That's not a word. That's not a word. There's no such word as Dawdle." And I'm like, "What?" I kept saying, "There is. It's a word." And he said, no. He was convinced it had to be a typo. He did not recognize that word in his vocabulary. It was like, there's no such word as Dawdle. He kept insisting that it was meant to be doodle. And I kept, this should be a doodle. And I'm saying, it's not, it's Dawdle. And he's saying, but there's no such word. And I think I told him the story about how when I have heard it used before. Well, I thought I heard it used before. There's a Simpsons episode. I think it's the very first Simpsons episode ever made. It's called "There Is No Disgrace Like Home," where Mr. Burns has a picnic where he invites all his employees and their families to his mansion, and they all bring this like jelly. And anyway, at the end of the day, he kicks them all off his property. He gathers them all around and he says, "Please get off my property until next year. I suggest you don't dawdle. The hounds will be released in 10 minutes. I thought he said Dawdle, but he actually said Dawdle. Dawdle with a W is a different word and a different meaning. Dawdle means to not waste time, be as quick as you can. But Dawdle, as it's spelt there, means, this should be easy, this should be, you should be able to do it in no time, sort of thing. So it's a different word with a different meaning. But I thought Mr. Burns said Dawdle, but he said Dawdle. But sometimes when Americans say things, that sounds like another word, it was like, it sounds like Dawdle, but it's Dawdle, no dawdling. But yeah, he just did not recognise that word. And I told my missus about it the other week, and she didn't recognise it either. She said, "There's no such word." I said, "There is." I said, "Look it up on Google." That's it. That's it, guys. So, yep. Spread the love around. Play the game. Download it. Tell all your friends about it. You can even make a reproduction cartridge of it and sell it. Yes, you heard it here first. That does not bother me. Hey, I'd even buy it off ya. Doesn't bother me. I would love to own this on a reproduction cartridge. I'm not ashamed to say that. That's just me. Everybody's different. A lot of people do not agree with me. But that's fine. That's just... I like reproduction cartridges of ROM hacks and stuff like that. It doesn't bother me. I'm looking for a reproduction cartridge of my Alex getting... extended edition. I'm always on the lookout for one of those, but I don't think anybody's ever made one. Or if they're selling it, I don't know. Doesn't matter. Anyway, it's out. Play it, share it, love it. There probably won't be any more updates. If there is any more updates, it'll probably just be to put a colour patch in or something. Which, by the way, Slogger's colour patch is not compatible with this one. I've tried it; it doesn't work. It works on the title screen and the SEGA logo, but that's about it. So that's it. The great thing is, if you don't like the levels in this game, you can just jump on the editor and make your own levels. You don't even have to make a ROM hack. You can play them on Squidgy's JavaScript engine, which he's rewritten the game in JavaScript completely from scratch, and it's really good. It doesn't have the jankiness here of the original They move faster. He's added more features in, like the fast forward feature. You know, we look like on Lemmings 2. There's no limitations with RAM either, so I'm told. So yeah. Alright guys, I'll stop the video here. Wasn't meant to go this long again, but okay. Alright, catch you later. Bye now.